Hello, Professor Steve Ryan. How you doing today? Today is Wednesday the 8th, and I'm going to be sharing my persuasive speech. And today's persuasive speech, and what I'm going to try to make sure you stop doing, is smoking. And, well, you personally might not be a smoker, but then maybe you could share this information with someone that you're trying to persuade to stop smoking. Included to have some of the health benefits, some of the negatives about smoking. There's almost no pros to smoking, so I didn't add any of that. There's no debate here. It's just about giving you some information, history about smoking, some tips about how to quit smoking, and how relevant, how popular it is today. Okay, so let us go into the speech. So here are some general risks about smoking in general. Quickly, you kind of start to see that it does affect almost everything in our body. The inhalation of smoke is not good for us. Smoking tobacco possesses severe health risks, including cancer, heart disease, and respiratory issues. Not only affects you, but also the people around you too, called secondhand smoke. So right here, I have a little diagram showing some of the negatives and how smoking affects you, from cancers relating your head, your lungs, your stomach, leukemia cancers, cancers relating the kidneys, the pancreas, the colon, the bladder, the cervix. These are all things that could, all organs, parts of the body could be affected from smoking that could turn cancerous. So that is definitely something that you want to keep in mind if you ever catch yourself wanting to smoke a cigarette. Nicotine cigarettes are cancer sticks. They will affect you negatively. Some of the chronic diseases associated with smoking: stroke, blindness, gum infection, rupture of important heart valves, aortic valves, heart disease, pneumonia. The list goes on. One of the scary ones is reduced fertility in both males and females, and higher chances of fetal death and complications during pregnancy. So those are all negative, really bad things about smoking, stuff that you want to think about if you do think about smoking cigarettes. The buzz you get from cigarettes is not worth it. Okay. I talked about the negatives about smoking. I do want to share a little bit about how even was tobacco introduced to society, from the beginning to American society, to why is it so relevant and prevalent in our culture. So let's just start from way back from Christopher Columbus first introduced tobacco leaves from the New World to the Old World. Later, let's skip forward a few hundred years. In the 1930s, this is the first time doctors were discussing the possible negative effects of smoking. In the 1930s, they already started to see some of the consequences from long-term use of smoking. And then it was first introduced to the world in the 1900s. Smoking became worldwide popular. Specifically, the first in 1913, the Camel cigarettes were introduced. These were marketed in coupons almost too. 3-pack of cigarettes. Cigarette companies started out early in the beginning, adding more nicotine into the cigarettes to get more people actually addicted. Yeah. And then pretty much from there, from the 1930s to let's say 1964, it got serious. The U.S. Attorney General got involved and placed serious health warnings on cigarette packets. So all the negatives I included. Some of the benefits, some of the reasons some of the reasons why you want to stop smoking It brings numerous benefits: improved lung function. You'll quickly start to see that you run better once you start smoking after a week or two. Already, not even from working out intensely, just the fact that you aren't damaging your lungs and inside that lung tissue over and over again from the inhalation of smoke is already improving the way that you breathe. The reduced risk of certain diseases, like I mentioned in the last slide, those chronic diseases, they are reduced from being a smoker, being likely to have those diseases, to being unlikely. So, but again, quitting smoking is difficult. It isn't an easy path. You'll get withdrawal symptoms. You'll start to feel more irritable. You'll start to have difficulty concentrating on simple things. You'll have increased appetite. These are all symptoms in your body that are telling you to go back to smoking. But the longer that you hold out on these, the better it gets. From the research I've done, from some of the information included in the slide, and from outside sources, I heard that 2 weeks, if you could stop smoking, stop the actual habit of putting a cigarette to your mouth, and quit inhaling nicotine in your lungs, 2 weeks is what it takes to really start to forget. Okay. And there's positives not only to yourself but to your loved ones. Secondhand smoke and the effects it has on people is well researched. The negative effects it has on children and the upbringing, both physically and mentally, well researched. So again, knowing when to quit and knowing how it actually positively affects yourself and others around you is another reason why to quit smoking. Okay. There are ways to quit smoking that make it a little easier. Some medications involved. That's one option. So remember, it's never too late to quit smoking and take control of the health and life that you want by setting a quit date. By seeking support by friends and family and by professionals and implementing strategies, this can help you cope with the cravings and the triggers of actually smoking. Remember, each step you take is a big way and a big step towards a healthier and happier future. So, thank you so much for listening to my speech. I appreciate it. I hope you don't smoke, and I hope from this speech you could persuade other people to stop smoking too. Like I mentioned in the beginning, smoking inhalation, it causes so much cancers throughout the body and your organs that could potentially happen because of the damage that you're doing from the inhalation of smoke. And quitting smoking long term is beneficial for you and others around you. Okay. Thank you. Here are my references.